Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Charlie Hempseed Podcast. Today, we're going to have another Canna News episode. Got a couple good articles pulled up, some interesting things, and definitely one that hits home for me here in South Dakota. So let's jump into these articles and talk about them. This is on the MJBizDaily.com. Las Vegas marijuana consumption lounges encounter delays. So this is kind of a bummer for anybody watching the Las Vegas cannabis scene. So marijuana operators and consumers anticipating consumption lounges opening this summer in Las Vegas will probably have to wait. Administrative setbacks, tight funding, and changing in regulations governing smoke ventilations have likely delayed the launch of dozens of smoke lounges for months, within the real possibility that only a few might open by the end of the year, industry experts are told. And that's kind of a bummer. You know, I understand needing some kind of regulation, but at a certain point, we overregulate a lot of things here. And it's kind of a bummer, you know. At one point in time, you used to be able to smoke cigarettes in these casinos, and I don't know if you still have. I haven't been to Las Vegas since I was 21, and it's been a long time, but, you know, realistically, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to get these lounges in place. It's been legal in Las Vegas for several years. I want to say at least 3 years at this point. So the fact that we still don't have, like, a coffee shop location in Vegas, especially a safe place for people to go and consume, that's kind of unfortunate. You know, when you are forcing tourists to go out into a place that's either public or it's just, you know, who knows, maybe they're going into alleyways or places that are not safe just because they are trying to consume cannabis and there's no place designated for that. So I'm sure, just like myself, as long as many other people, we'd like to see these consumption lounges open up as soon as possible. I'd really like to get to Vegas for the MJ BizCon in November, and I'd love it if there was consumption lounges available. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of places to consume during MJ BizCon, but having it to be safe and legal would also be a plus, wouldn't it? Next one is Iowa's first cannabis-infused drinks hit the market. This is cool. A sparkling water drink advertised as Iowa's first cannabis-infused social beverage is now on the market. So, try to get the details on this. I think it's just going to be a CBD derivative. Now it's going to be 5 milligrams of THC per can. And that's awesome. Congratulations to Iowa. It says Governor Kim Reynolds then signed the Iowa Hemp Act in 2019, which allows the state ag department to grant hemp growers licenses and regulate consumable products. So even though THC from like recreational cannabis is illegal in Iowa, this is going to be their option. So we got a little bit of progression here in Iowa. Hopefully you guys will go legal soon, either for medical or recreational. I think, you know, it's just a matter of time now. Both Iowa and South Dakota border Minnesota. Minnesota just went full rec. Now that we have a bordering state full rec, I think it's going to be very hard to prevent the Midwest states from holding out any longer. They tried, and now the cat's out of the bag. Most of us have medical. Now we're touching rec, and we're surrounded by it. You know, Illinois, and freaking Michigan, Minnesota. I mean, there's a bunch of activity happening now. So hopefully Iowa is just right around the corner. This one is the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission awards 21 business licenses. Montgomery, Alabama. The medical cannabis industry in Alabama is one step closer to becoming a reality. The Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission voted to award 21 business licenses to select companies across the state that out of 90 applications. The licenses will allow these companies to grow, sell, and transport medical marijuana. So shout out to Alabama. You guys are definitely progressing. I mean, Alabama is one of those states down in the South that you do not want to get caught with weed in. And now that you guys have a medical program, at least people are going to be able to get medical cannabis, and hopefully it is a pathway to recreational cannabis as well. Good job, Alabama. This is another article from MJBizDaily.com. This is Aurora Cannabis reports an $87 million loss and aims for a positive free cash flow. So Aurora Cannabis reported a loss of 87 million Canadian dollars for the 3 months ended in March 31st, 2023, and up slightly from the 67.2 million net loss reported in the previous quarter. However, the Edmonton, Alberta-based company posted positive adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization of $300,000 for the 3 months. Aurora's second straight positive adjusted EBITDA. So that is a crazy amount of loss. Of course, anybody who was following what Aurora was doing, they were just snatching up large portions of, companies that were blowing up, and they were just swallowing them up like a big fish. So the fact that they grew so large and now that they're taking a loss isn't too surprising, but it's something to watch for because these guys are one of the bigger people in the stock market for cannabis. So if you're anybody who plays with cannabis stocks, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. I don't know anything about stocks. I've thought about getting into cannabis stocks, but I just never have. And I'd like to hear somebody's opinion on that. Next one. This is the one that hits real close. I'm going to wait on that until last. This is the Thailand cannabis industry is in limbo after a year of decriminalization. Now, after a year of legalization, cannabis stores in Bangkok's Covenant Road attracted enough controversy to feature in a local newspaper. As bad publicity mounted, authorities suspended the store's license for operating across the streets from a private girls' school. So basically, they just had another election in Thailand, and a new party was elected, and they are going to try to make cannabis illegal again. So they removed cannabis from the listed ban of narcotics, and that was becoming the first country in Asia to effectively decriminalize hemp and marijuana. And as cannabis growers and stores boomed, Parliament scrambled, yet failed to pass legal controls. Now the move forward party's government in waiting plans to return cannabis to the control list, potentially sending the industry from boom to bust. More than a million people have applied to grow cannabis, while authorities have granted 1.1 million licenses to produce or sell cannabis-related products. The Thai cannabis market is worth 28 billion baht, or $800 million at the end of 2022, and projected to grow to 31.8 billion baht this year by the University of Thai Chamber of Commerce. By 2025, the market will be worth 42.9 billion baht, nearly triple the 15 billion projected by the whatever name the health minister who removed cannabis from the narcotics list last year due to allow medical use or with or without a prescription. So this is awesome. Awesome that Thailand was the first Asian country to legalize cannabis. Hopefully they don't try to stuff the cat back into the bag. There are so many positive businesses and stories out there now about the legalization that it's really turned around a lot of lives, and I would love to go over there personally and make some videos for you guys. I hope that I still have time to do that before they try to change it too much, because what a shame. It's a shame that this plant has been locked down across the world for so long when the people who have been involved with it for so long know that it's safe. It's not some kind of devil's lettuce. And this is the one that hits super close to home for me. And this is South Dakota's anti-pot lawmaker gets a medical weed card to test the system. This is Representative Fred Deutsch intends to obtain a South Dakota medical cannabis card, but not to buy cannabis. And he did do so. He went and got a medical card through one of the pop-up clinics because he wanted to prove that basically they are corrupt or that they are not following the law. Here he posted on Twitter. He tagged Caden Whitman, one of the. And this is what he said to her. I support easy access to the medical marijuana when doctors and patients follow the law. I now have a medical card because my doctor didn't follow the law. Why are you, a lawmaker, against following the law? That's a great question, Fred Deutsch. Why are you, a lawmaker, against this cannabis plant that people approved? 74% of patients, or 74% of the population in the state of South Dakota approved this medical program, and you're attacking it. It is illegal. It should, in my mind, my non-attorney brain, it should be illegal for you to go and lie to that doctor to illegally obtain a medical marijuana card, for you to go back to our Senate and to attack this program. How dare you? I would like to know, while you were sitting there in that clinic, what was the average age of the medical patient trying to obtain their card? Because I've been to a lot of them. I've gone to Black Hills Cultivation. I've sat in. I've seen these people. The average age of a medical marijuana patient in South Dakota is 65 or above. We're talking about people who are retirees, grandmas, grandpas, people who were afraid to use this stuff for the entirety of their life because they were told that it was dangerous, because they were lied to by their government. And now they're figuring out that it works better for them than any opioid, any prescription drug that they're being given by their doctor. They're getting relief that they've never felt in their life before, and then they're telling their friends. And yeah, our program is starting to grow. And, of course, the powers that be, Fred Deutsch, he doesn't like that. And that's so unfortunate that we still have leaders in South Dakota who are more like a dictatorship, who they don't believe in the freedom. Unbelievable that Kristi Noem, one, overturned the recreational marijuana program. That's unbelievable that you put up $400,000 of the taxpayers' dollars to support two sheriffs to go and overturn that, and then that our Supreme Court actually supported that case. Shame on all of you. That is unbelievable. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this Canna News episode. I hope you're having a great week. Tomorrow is Friday. The weekend's just right around the corner, and I hope everybody has a great Father's Day weekend. Congratulations to all the fathers out there. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.